Yes, I'm wearing a Fallout onesie. Has nothing to do with the video. Anyways, so today I finally picked up The Last of Us Part 2, and I kind of want to talk about this game real quick. So I obviously have not played it. I at least took the shrink wrap off, or not the shrink wrap, the plastic off, and I guess mini unboxing here. Got the data disc and then the play disc, always have to do the fucking sniff. But anyways, I kind of want to talk about my uh I guess I guess it's like a before I play The Last of Us Part 2. Um yeah, I kind of just want to give my thoughts on the game before I play it, and just what my what my expectations are so far when I am actually gonna before I start to play this game, because this game has created quite a stir, especially after the Game Awards, and it took me. The reason why I didn't get it when it came out was because um, you know I I heard about like all the hype or all the, and I'm also gonna pop the install disc in at least real quick while I'm talking about it. Um, I heard about all the fucking. Oh, I heard about the leaks. I heard about all the, you know. I heard. I watched a couple reviews. I heard some thoughts on the game from other YouTubers and whatnot. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna uh, say uh, point out who, but I've been kind of on the fence about playing this game, and let me also kind of give my history with Naughty Dog. So before I actually um, get into anything else, so I'm a big fan of Naughty Dog. I have all the Uncharted games minus the Lost Legacy and it's the one in the Vita, Golden Abyss, except that one's not made by Naughty Dog. So yeah, I have Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, and Uncharted 4 Thief's End. And then I also have the Nathan Drake collection, because I gave that away for free during lockdown last year. And then I also have The Last of Us Part 1 on the PS3 digitally. And then I also have The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4. So I never ended up finishing this version, by the way. I at least played the Left Behind DLC on here, and I really enjoyed that. Well, otherwise, I have played The Last of Us on the PS3. I never ended up finishing the remastered version, partly because I don't have the patience to. Not to say it's a bad game or anything. It's a fantastic game, and out of Naughty Dog's more recent games from like the PS3 and PS4, this is probably my favorite one. I enjoyed this one the most. So nothing against the Uncharted series. I absolutely love the Uncharted series, with Uncharted 4 being my personal favorite. I know there's for Uncharted 2, that's absolutely fine. Me personally, I just enjoyed the fourth one the most. So now, aside from that, I am also a big Jak and Daxter fan. I've not played much of Jak 3, at least. I don't think I've even played Jak 3. But I have played Jak and Daxter and Jak 2, and I absolutely adore those games, especially Jak 2. And I have all of them on the PS4. I have all three Jak and Daxter games. I have Jak X on the PS4 as well. And then I have the Jak and Daxter HD collection on both PS3 and Vita digitally. Because I wanted some easy platinum trophies and didn't really pan out all too well with Jak 2. Jak 2 is the easiest one to platinum, at least on PS4. It's not so much on the PS3 and Vita, especially the Vita. But otherwise, yeah, I love the Jak and Daxter games. Jak 2 is probably like one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. It's like high up there with Super Mario Galaxy. I'd probably say Super Mario Galaxy I like even more, but Jak 2 is easily just one of the best platformers I've ever played in my life. I absolutely love that game. And it's unfortunate that I never got around to finishing it until I played it on the PS4, because the PS4 version is, if you guys don't know the PS4 version, I don't recommend playing that version of the game. So unless you're a trophy hunter, I don't recommend playing the PS4 version. It has frame rate issues. There's issues with the music as well. Like, I've noticed the music slows down, which, believe it or not, it's actually tied to the sound effects. Uh, to prove my point, I won't talk much more about Jak and Daxter after this, but to prove my point, I hopped on Jak 2. Well, I was playing Jak 2 one time, and I turned off all the sound for the game except for the music, and the music played just fine. But when I put the sound back on, or all the sound effects back on, yeah, the music started to slow down, and I don't know, that version just has a lot of issues. So, and also playing it just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's just me because I hadn't played Jak 2 in such a long time at the time when I was playing Jak 2 on the PS4, um, but yeah, just it didn't really feel right to play on the PS4. I don't know what it was. So I don't remember having like control issues or anything, but that's besides the point. So yeah, and I also have played the Crash Bandicoot games on the PS1. I haven't played them a whole lot, but I do like Crash Bandicoot. Um, Let me just say this: I do have the Insane Trilogy on PC, and I've played a little bit on the PS4. I rented it a while back, and I did really enjoy my time with Crash Bandicoot. I just haven't played it enough to say it's like the best 3D platform I've ever played. So, but I do enjoy Crash Bandicoot. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's a bit of my history with with Naughty Dog, and needless to say, being a huge fan of The Last of Us Part One, when they announced Part Two, and what's funny is when they announced Part Two, I was thinking about, I would love to see a sequel. Like around like before they announced Part Two, I was really thinking about what if they put out a sequel. I would have loved, like at the time I was just thinking about the idea of them putting out a sequel, and lo and behold, around that time they announced a sequel, and I got I got super fucking hyped because I'm a huge fan of the first Last of Us. So to see that they announced a part two, I lost it. I was so fucking happy. Um, so so yeah, needless to say, and granted, The Last of Us Part One ended off perfectly. I think that ending is perfect. So by uh, like Nikki Jakey put it best, that they kind of shot themselves in the foot by ever thinking about doing a sequel, and that was something I wasn't even thinking about at the time. Now that I've played, and now that I've seen a couple videos, actually, I said I wouldn't name off any names, but yeah, YouTubers like Donkey. I think I watched his video. If not, well, well then I haven't. But yeah, I've watched Nikki Jakey's video. It's like a 50-minute long video, talking about Naughty Dog and their dated game design. I've watched what's his name? YouTuber by the name of Dreamcast Guy. He did a video talking about this game, and I've heard opinions from other people about The Last of Us Part Two. And needless to say, I'm kind of nervous to get into this game or to start playing it because all the stuff I've heard about this game, and it seems, and of course, I'm gonna give this game a serious shot. I'm gonna at least try and finish this game. um, because I don't want to just straight up say, oh, this game sucks, because for all I know, I could play it and I might end up fucking loving the game. But I'm just nervous to get into it. So the most common things I hear about this game is that the gameplay is amazing, and graphically it looks amazing, and the sound design is fantastic, and the accessibility features are amazing in this game. Which the accessibility features, I can absolutely see why it was picked for a game, or for the game that really really did accessibility features really well. And then I forget what soundtrack. I think it won best soundtrack at the Game Awards. Those I could see. Those make sense to me. I could actually see that. Because that's another thing. The Last of Us and just Naughty Dog games in general just have fucking bitchin' ass soundtracks. So especially The Last of Us. I love The Last of Us's soundtrack. But outside of that, like I said, I've heard the gameplay's amazing, and but otherwise, when it comes to the story, I'm just kind of that's the bit I'm the most nervous about, because I've heard, I've heard that's the most mixed thing I've heard about. I've heard some people absolutely adore it. I've heard others fucking despise it. I've heard with the other main character you play as in this game, Abby. I've heard she's just a terribly written character and whatnot. And just I don't know. I'm really nervous to get into this game and to actually give it a go. And um, you know, I know there would probably be some people in the comments saying, kind of confused as to why I'm just nervous, and that's I've explained why. And if you don't get it, then I don't know, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel right now. I don't know how I feel about starting this game, and yeah, that's yeah, I don't really have much else to add to this, other than I will say this: I am really interested to see what they do with the multiplayer component, because they're working on, if I'm correct, they are working on The Last of Us Factions, The Last of Us Part Two, the Factions multiplayer, which that's one thing I will say. I did not play the multiplayer of The Last of Us Remastered or The Last of Us One in general. I haven't really played the multiplayer for the Last of Us Part One a whole lot, and but what I can say is I can definitely see the appeal with the multiplayer of The Last of Us. It was actually pretty solid. I won't lie. I actually had quite a bit of fun playing the multiplayer for The Last of Us. Again, I didn't play it a whole lot, but I really gotta give Naughty Dog credit. I gotta give credit where credit is due. They managed to make a pretty solid multiplayer. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do with The Last of Us Part Two multiplayer. So, because if you're not aware, I imagine tons of people already know about this, but the multiplayer isn't available for Part Two yet. They're still working on that, and their reasoning was because they wanted to make sure they wanted to make a multiplayer mode that from my understanding, they just wanted to make a multiplayer mode that everyone can enjoy and whatnot. And you know, I'm willing to give it a go. It's definitely something that I'm definitely gonna see about giving or trying it out. So, especially by the fact that while I do enjoy multiplayer games, I don't enjoy them nearly as much as I used to. Nowadays, I play more single player games. I mean, shit, I'm still playing through Cold Steel 4, and I'm still confused as to why I stopped playing that magnificent RPG, that fantastic RPG. Seriously, if you've not played the Cold Steel games or just the Trail series in general, seriously, some of the best RPGs I've ever fucking played in my life. I can't really speak too much about the Sky trilogy because I've not played them, but one of my friends, he goes by the name of Schultenheim on YouTube. He Twitch. He speedruns games like Zwei and Naruto no Kiseki. He has talked very highly about the Sky trilogy and just Falcom in general. So I don't want to go off for minutes on end to talk about Falcom, but if you've not played the Trail series and you're a fan of you like RPGs and you're a fan of the Tale series, you must play. What the fuck was I? What the fuck did I just say? If you're a fan of RPGs and you've never played the Trail series, you are missing out on some of the best RPGs ever. I mean, like I said, I can really only speak about the Cold Steel games. I've not really touched the Sky trilogy. I bought all three though. I bought the Sky trilogy on Steam a few months back, so I will definitely be checking those out. Not right away after I finish Cold Steel 4, because with my work schedule, I kind of want to get a couple short games out of the way, and then possibly move on to a big RPG after that. But point being, like I said, definitely check out the Trail series. Cold Steel 4, by the way, stupid long. Cold Steel 3, well, the Cold Steel games in general are really long, but Cold Steel 4 is taking me insanely longer. It might end up being the game I put the most time into, because I'm like 140 hours in and I'm on Act 3, and I think there's like one more act after this, so after Act 3. But back to The Last of Us and whatnot. Anyways, yeah. Uh, so yeah. What was I just? Oh yeah, I'm still shocked that I can't believe I stopped playing Cold Steel 4 to start installing The Last of Us Part 2. And you know, I I mentioned to my brother uh, that I that I ordered a copy of The Last of Us Part 2, and that's another thing. I ordered this today, and it showed up today. so so yeah, because of the whole roadie thing or some shit. I don't know. Same day delivery, I guess. So probably because I ordered it. Probably because I guess Flint had a copy of this, or um, yeah, it's like a town near me. I guess a local town. My nearest Best Buy had a copy of it, so I guess. Um, but yeah, that's why it showed up same day. So which is actually pretty nice. Um, but yeah, it's But yeah, I was talking about it with my brother, and he was like, "You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it, um, everywhere I look, I see people absolutely praise The Last of Us Part Two. Um, but uh, but I guess my brother told me that my brother told me that people fucking hate The Last of Us Part Two, so I guess I'm just looking at the. I guess I just happen to be where I look. I just happen to just see nothing but people praising this game. Of course, I do see a handful of people absolutely shitting on this game. But it's yeah, yeah. So bottom line point, the whole point of this video is just to give my, I guess, early thoughts, like like pre playing the game, I guess, thoughts, or before playing The Last of Us Part 2, kind of give my thoughts on the game before I start playing The Last of Us Part 2, and I will do like uh, a a afterthoughts video, like a video where I just talk about my final thoughts in the game when, or I should say if, I finish the game. So yeah, that's really all I had to say. Shorter video than usual, but yeah. So that's what my that's all I really have to say. I don't really have much else to say. Are you now? I must ask you guys. Do you like Do you guys like The Last of Us Part 2? Do you absolutely despise it? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about it. So yeah, there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm CoffinSkate signing off, and have a great rest of your day.